Hello everyone. So when I posted the complete process of the family dependent visa, I got a very good response and a lot of you were asking that post that what should be the process, like once the visa is issued, what is the next thing we have to do in India. So here I am explaining the complete process which you need to do in India so that you can do it smoothly and come to Kuwait. So let's get started. First of all, when your dependent visa is issued, you have to make sure that you send that visa to the person who is coming from India. Mostly it will be your wife and your kid. So the best possible couriers is a professional courier because they charge only 5 KD and they will deliver it as soon as possible. So once they receive the visa, they have to make sure that all the details in the visa as well as the passport are completely same, because if there is any kind of spelling mistake or any kind of other types of mistake, the visa will not be valid and it will be rejected while boarding the aircraft. Once your visa details are matching and confirmed, you have to go to the passport portal and book your PCC. So police clearance certificate is very much needed once you want to leave India and move to any other country, and Kuwait requires it. So once you apply for the PCC will be done within 15 days to a month. And then once you get the PCC copy, you also have to book your Gumka medical meanwhile you book your PCC. Gumka is an official portal where all the GCC country residents have to go through a medical test to make sure that whoever is entering the GCC has a perfect medical background and they do not have any underlying symptoms. Once you book the slot on Gumka website, as per the nearest hospital possible, you need to pay around 1500 rupees and then you will get your slot. Special thing to note here is that some people may fail medical, so it's better to have a pre-medical done and after that go for the final medical test, because if the pre-medical is failing, you can at least see what you can do to resolve this issue. If the issue is not resolvable, then unfortunately you cannot come to Kuwait. But if officially it can be solved, you have to solve it and then go for your medical test. So once you go to the medical test at the center, they will check your original visa, they will keep it with them. You will need to pay around 5,000 to 6,000 rupees for your medical test. They usually do X-ray of the chest, they sometimes do urine test, blood test, and make sure that you do not have any kind of underlying symptom. For your kid, the medical test is not needed for kids under 18 years. So as far as my knowledge and my colleagues' experiences are concerned, the medical test is not required for the children under 18 years, neither is the PCC required. So they are exempt from it, but they have to make sure that they have all their relevant vaccination certificate. Once you pass your medical in India, that copy will be given to you and you can keep it for your reference. If you fail the medical, then that copy will be taken by the hospital and they will send it to the Kuwait embassy, and from there your complete process will be rejected. You will not be able to come to Kuwait. After receiving your PCC and medical fit certificate, you have to go to any attestation services and give them your original passport, original PCC, original medical certificate and original visa along with 2 passport size photos preferably. That attestation center will collect all these documents and they will have to get it attested from Kuwait Embassy, SDM, Ministry of External Affairs, and in all there are 4 types of attestation. They will be doing it and they will be sending it back to you. Usually per document it will cost you around 8,000 to 11,000 depending upon the type of attestation company, and it usually takes 15 days to 1 month based upon the capabilities of the attestation company. Once you get all the documents attested and their original copies, there will also be a sticker on the dependent's passport which will mention that this is an allowance to the state of Kuwait. After you have all these documents with you, only then book your tickets to come to Kuwait. So you can book your tickets through any carrier. National carrier is not mandatory for this. National carrier is mandatory for visit visa, but family dependent visa, national carrier is not mandatory as far as our experience is concerned. So for the best experience, you can try Emirates, and if you want to come directly, you can book Kuwait Airways and Jazeera Airways also. It's totally dependent upon you as to what type of experience you want and what is the timeline of travel you want with you. When the dependent has to travel, they will need to reach airport 4 hours before because it's an international flight. And once their chance comes at the airline ticketing counter, they will have to show their PCC, their passport, their visa and all the requested documents which are asked by the airline counter. They will check all your documents, they will verify everything and then they will ask you to move forward. Post that, you will need to go to the immigration counter and then the immigration person will check all your documents again. He will take your fingerprint and photo, and then he will ask you to move forward. And then the remaining process is same as you board a domestic flight. You go to the flight counter, you get all your bags checked, and then you enter the flight. Once the flight is landed in Kuwait, they will need to go to the immigration counter first. They will see all the documents, check and verify everything, and ask you to move forward. Post that, your dependent has to book fingerprint and medical. So for this, you can approach any kind of agents. Choice is one of the center who helps them. They usually charge from 10 to 20 KD per head for booking the fingerprint as well as medical. Fingerprint is same as they have to go on the due date and put all their fingers there, and they will scan the finger for the Kuwait government reference, and it will be used in your civil ID. For the medical of the dependent, they will have to approach the medical center on the due date, and the medical checkup process will be almost as same as India. So they will check your x-ray, your blood test, your urine sample. It's totally dependent upon them. They will be completing this process and asking you to leave once done. After the medical process is done, there is a small number on the sticker on the passport which I mentioned earlier. So there is a number on the sticker, and you can use that number as a reference point to check your medical status online. So the dependent's medical status can be checked like this, and whether they have failed or whether they have passed, we can know through the online portal. Hopefully, once the medical from Kuwait is also cleared, you will need to approach any kind of agent, and they will book a slot for your civil ID. So there is a 5 KD charge for booking the slot for the civil ID. We need to pay that, and once the slot is booked on the due date, you can go there directly to the PASI, and the PASI will have multiple type of boxes which look like ATM machines, and from there the civil ID will be generated and given to you. There is a token system there sometimes, so you need to first take the token and then go to the machine and put the token inside, and your civil ID will come out. So once the civil ID is in your hand for your dependents, that's the complete process. So I wish you all the best for the complete process, and in case of any kinds of doubts you have, please do ask in the comments, and if you want any other type of content from my side, do let me know that as well. And thank you so much for all your support, and if this video has given you any kind of help or value, please do like this video and share to anyone who will get help from this video. Thank you and have a nice day. See you in the next video.